It's one of my favorite episodes because it was a chance for me to sort of do it all. And it came out in ways better than I imagined it would. It was strange for me to actually be the main person behind the camera. I was very, very nervous about directing. And when I called action the first time and no one laughed, I knew that I was going to be okay. It was actually a good test of my skills. I had been communicating with directors for some 30 episodes before that, telling them what I wanted, and now it was really a chance for me to show them what I wanted. I learned that there are a lot of things that you take for granted as a writer and as a producer, practical things, physical things, things that you imagine that just can't be done, and so you make compromises, you make changes. My favorite scene in the episode, I think, is probably the most memorable scene, is when Steve Railsback, playing Duane Barry, is on the table having his teeth drilled, which was also a very interesting little physical effect. We put a little spray tube in his mouth, and it sent out a little bit of spray, which gave the appearance of actual drilling with the laser beam. And I just told Steve Railsback to scream at the top of his lungs, which gave a nice believability to the action because his mouth is jittering and shaking. I wrote the episode of Duane Barry for Steve Railsback. I've resisted casting the marquee names only because it takes you out of the show. It makes the show less believable. But there are certain actors who just call out for the part. Steve Railsback for this part was a perfect match. I talked to people who had a relative who believed he had been abducted by aliens, and he kept complaining to them that he had holes drilled in his teeth.
They drilled holes in my damn teeth!
And sure enough, when they took him to the dentist said to him, "This man has tiny holes drilled in his teeth, and I don't know how he could have gotten these because they are too small and too fine to be done with any equipment that I've ever seen." So I use that as an inspiration.